The diagram shows curve C with polar equation r equals f of theta. The line L is a tangent to the curve at the point P of r comma theta. And alpha is the acute angle between L and the radial line at P. Oh god, this is a lot of words. Show that tangent of alpha is equal to r over dr d theta? It's supposed to be the hardest question in your book? Oh god, they don't even tell you the equation of the polar curve. What the hell? Okay. What I'm wondering about immediately is, could we make it the right triangle? Could we make the right triangle between like the line L and the radial line at P? It's like, you know, this hypotenuse connect down to the radial line with a right angle, and you can get tangent of alpha with that, I guess. And you would make that triangle infinitely small? But how would you know that the opposite is r and the adjacent is dr over d theta? Guess when nothing you had planned actually happens? Yeah. That's how your day's been, Jed? What happened? Okay, so let's look up tangent line polar. Maybe just look at some facts about tangent lines and polar coordinates. That might help me out here. Oh, that's the answer? Okay, well, let me think about it for a bit more, and then I'll look at your spoiler. Got to your desk at 9 a.m. Been on the phone nonstop since then. No breakfast, no lunch, no what? Oh, God. It's after 4 p.m. now? Oh, God, that's right. I didn't even think about the time zone conversion. Yeah, I think I done those days too often when I was working my office job, but they definitely happened. How much work I actually got accomplished? Probably not much. That's probably correcting other people's stupid mistakes, if I were to guess. So if it's anything like how my days would often go. Jim Carter spontaneous explosion. A non-zero number? Okay. Maybe it's quickly approaching zero, though. See, acute angle. Man, everything is arbitrary, which makes it, it adds a layer of difficulty to it for me. And Thunder, this one was just for fun, right? Does it feel like the final boss in the book, though? Yeah, it is for fun? Okay. I mean, it seems like, I think there's gonna be a mix of Cartesian and polar coordinates required to actually arrive at this answer? I think I might just look at the answer because I have half an idea of how to start this, but I feel like it's not going to go anywhere. So I'm just going to bring up the answer. They do use this thing right here, it looks like. The gradient line L is clearly through the tangent of angle A plus theta. Now, I only ever use gradient for multivariable problems. So I'm going to have to figure out what they mean by gradient here. Maybe just mean the rate of change of line L. Oh, I guess, yeah, like the angle of the slope. So yeah, theta plus alpha is the angle of this line relative to the origin. I guess that makes sense. Or I guess maybe relative to the like x-axis is a better way of saying that. Gradient can be expressed as follows. Since the Cartesian coordinates of P are r cosine theta, r sine theta, the gradient is dr d theta sine theta plus r cosine theta. I'm just going to take that as fact and not try to derive it. Now, obviously, oh my god, they use clearly and obviously. Oh my god. These words don't have a place in the in like math explanations like this. Alpha is equal to alpha plus theta minus theta. Yes, that is obvious. Why? It's not at all obvious why you would need to make this though. So you can take some random tangent identity of each side. Or not like, no, you can't say obviously. You can, but no. This is not an obvious step. It is obviously true, but it's not obvious that you should do this and take the tangent of each side. And then from there you use, I guess, the tangent subtraction identity and do a whole bunch of algebra. I would not have thought of this step on my own. Like, what the hell? I'm glad I just looked at the answer. Now, how do they say that tangent of alpha plus theta is equal to this gradient? I'm a little weirded out by that. Oh, because that's just how the gradient is defined, as the angle. Okay. I guess so. Do you want to play the mini boss? Sure, Thunder. God, what a random step. I feel like there's a different way that's more obvious but more work as well, and they took a clever, simple way. That's my bet. Like, I imagine that's not the way that... I bet there's multiple solutions, and there's a more obvious way that's more work. This is person whose notation I didn't quite understand. I said minus? Oh, frick. I'm just gonna leave this one as is, because this person put up a good response. I see Thunder just posted the mini boss. Which one is it out of those? Question 2? Okay. Differential equations. Ooh. See, now you're speaking my language. Given that y equals 0 and x equals 1 when t equals 0, so that y equals sinh and cosh. No, not hyperbolic trig function, so you're no longer speaking my language. So my guess for how you would do this, because this is differential equations stuff that I've done, doesn't remind me of, maybe it does remind me of this. Okay, I have a theory in my head for how you should go about this. I don't know if this is right, because I don't know if this is right, but I just kind of want to go down this avenue and see if there's something interesting that we can do here. So dy by dt is equal to x, which is also a function of t, and dx by dt is equal to y, which is also a function of t. So I was thinking, if we were to do separation of variables here, we'd have dy equals x dt, integrate, dx equals integral y dt. And so we could somehow equate these, or like make these equations go together in some way. But now that I look at it, I don't know if it's that easy. So I thought there'd be something a bit more obvious. Like, you try to add these two equations and maybe something good happens there. I don't really know where you go from there, though. Oh wait, maybe you want everything in terms of t. Because oh man, I wonder if this would work. If dx over dt wait, okay. I don't know if this adding thing is even the right step, but if I just dx is equal to y dt, actually that's the same exact thing, never mind. Well, I guess it'd be y is equal to the integral of x dt, and x is equal to the integral of y dt. Do x and y have to be the same function, or in the same family of functions in that case? Which cosh and sinh are? Actually, wait. Am I doing this the complete wrong way? Yeah, you're Bob. I'm doing this. I'm solving this as if I didn't have the last line given to me. I'm trying to solve it. We're already given the solution to these differential equations. We only have to prove it. So why don't I just prove it? Why am I trying to solve it as if we're not given the solutions? So it feels like in the spirit of the question to just look up identities here and show that this will be true. So let's at least look at the exponential forms of these functions and derive those. I got a little too excited with wanting to do differential equations, but this is all that I think we need. Okay. dy by dt equals x, dx by dt equals y. And then we also have that x is cosh t, y is sinh t. And then if I'm going to do it the exponential definition way, I'm sure there's probably other ways to do it too, but I'm going to do it this way. Cosh e to the x plus e to the minus x, t. Two, right? And then sinh, same thing, but there's a minus sign in front. Okay, all we have to do is find dx by dt and find dy by dt. I was making it way too complicated in my head. So dx by dt is e to the t minus e to the minus t over 2. dy by dt is e to the t plus e to the minus t over 2. Oh, wouldn't you know it? This is sinh, which is y. That's cosh, which is x. It's equal to y is equal to x. Now, why do we need those points? When t is 0. Oh, shoot, I didn't go back to the original problem. Why do we need y equals 0 and x equals 1 when t is equal to 0? Is it because we would need plus c? Yes. Technically, we need constants. Now, are they multiplied or added? I think I should have done like a... The issue I'm debating in my head is I should have done like a plus c thing, or like times c1 times c2. I don't know, because like... I feel like we would add. That's just an instinct thing rather than actually knowing it, though. So let's just see what happens if x is equal to cosh t plus c1. X equals 1 when t equals 0. So 1 equals cosh 0 plus c1. What the hell is cosh of 0? 1 plus 1 over 2 is 1. 1 equals 1 plus c1. c1 equals 0. So we don't need to worry about the c1. And we should hopefully get a similar thing for y. Sinh of 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. I think that's how you're supposed to use that fact. So I think My work could be organized a bit better. Like I should have done the plus C1 plus C2 thing first. But I think I've shown the answer to 2A. I see you posted. Oh no, they are multiplied? How do you know that? Turn into a second order differential equation. Oh. Yeah, I hate the way that they phrase these answers. X equal to dy by dt is equal to... Oops. Rope around the earth question? I don't think so. It sounds a little familiar, Bob, but I can't think of what it is. Oh. They do it this way. I feel like my way is also valid. I guess it should have been multiplied. Well, if it was multiplied with the way that I set it up, I don't know. I don't know if I did it wrong or not. This part is kind of confusing to me still. I'm trying to figure out how that actually works. Turning into... dy by dt is equal to... y is equal to dx by dt. So I guess you split out the y. Okay. And of course, this could be e to the t or e to the minus t. And I don't know why you just get to exclude cosine and sine conveniently, even though they are kind of technically exponential functions too. These are the perfectly circling the earth, or earth. Let's say now you can cut that rope and add 1 meter to it and tie it up again. Will be the elevation of the rope. Oh. That doesn't seem that hard to do. Maybe that's famous last words right there. The answer will surprise you. Well, I also wanted to do the part 2B here that Thunder also posted. But okay, actually, I mean, okay, this might be a little bit involved though. So let me, and if what I'm thinking is true, the answer to Bob's question should be quick. Okay, so we need to get how am I going to name things here? Okay, so we'll take the circumference of the Earth, add 1, because we just lengthened the rope by 1 meter. It's equal to 2 pi r. In this case, it's the radius so what we want to find is the radius of the rope minus the radius of the earth. And we need to somehow, like, get that. Like, engineer that situation in here. It's just equal to r sub r. We also know that CE is equal to 2 pi r sub e. So do we subtract these two equations? That seems like it makes sense to me. If I subtract, like, flip them around and do this one minus that, 0 is equal to 2 pi r sub 2 r sub r. Well, that doesn't really make sense now, does it? Because there's a 1 there. That feels like... I guess 1 over 2 pi is equal to r sub r minus r sub e. So the other is 1 over 2 pi? Oh my god, that Zelda noise in the song. I thought it was like a sound alert. Like, did I add that? Get 16 centimeter elevation. If 1 over 2 pi is 16 centimeters, or let's 1 over 2 pi. Yeah, a meteor will be 16 centimeters of elevation. Or not, that was the one song, that was the snake song. Or snot song, sound effect, the exclamation point, never mind. Like, completely mind-blowing? It's a random number to me. Actually, well, wait, 16 centimeters is a lot, isn't it? Maybe that's the problem. 2 inches. I didn't tell you to copy it. No. Okay, so half a foot in real units. If you basically had 3 feet to the rope. Let me copy paste the question for you, Astro. It's something that Bob said. So I just worked out that you get, if you add 1 meter to the rope, you get 16 centimeters of elevation. And in freedom units, that's basically half a foot. Let me put my mug away because I'm out of tea. Freedom units, exactly. Oh wait, my microphone is still down. Something felt wrong. I never thought to, like, do that problem, but no, I know it'd be a number. I didn't really have expectation for what that number should be, I guess. I'm kind of curious about the second part of Thunder's problem. Or else is there anything else to say about that, Bob? That's interesting that, like, such a small amount to be added on would give, like, that big of a difference, I guess? So we got a system of differential equations. dp by dt is equal to p minus q. dq dt is p plus q. dr dt is p plus 2q plus r. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. I didn't think about it like that. Like I was trying to expect a number for it to be. That is a pretty like unexpectedly big difference. So if we tried to do the same kind of solution technique as part A, like if we were to could we get like the first equation say only in terms of q or something? That's what some composition question in the 80s, some guy did the calculation. Oh, this doesn't make sense and cross everything off. Oh no. You have to show this to Zach? Oh, cool. Yeah. Sounds good, Bob. I'll sometimes like add these two equations together, but then you get maybe you have to use a different technique here. Not crazy when you're really thinking about it though. I know, like I was like underwhelmed because I didn't have any expectation about it. Oh, and thanks for following earlier, Bruzmir. It is a very small amount of rope to add relative to how much elevation you actually get. Seemingly small, I guess. Okay, you know, I'm curious about their solution. I'm just gonna look at the solution that you sent, Thunder, because I want to see how they do it. Because I was thought to do it a completely different way, which is why I thought that chimpanzee problem that you sent me the other week was gonna be. How do you know that? That's what I was trying to work out. Like, how do you get an equation like this? They just skipped right to it, though. I don't know how they got that. God damn it. I hate whoever wrote these answers. Yeah. Like, it doesn't make sense, but it's just unintuitive, as you say. Could you write it perfect? Is that zeta? Everything I write is always perfect. Perfect, right? I don't know. Just make a squiggle. That's all you gotta do. The LaTeX one, it'll be harder. I want to look at this problem. So I want to do it the really or I mean, it's the way that I learned to do a system of differential equations here, and I want to see how it works out. Wait. There we go. The matrix form is what I wanted. Wait, what happens to the, like eigenvalues and eigenvectors and stuff though? Yeah, like eta, and this is stuff that I was doing. Wronskians. I'm finding an actual example. Oh, not that. Yeah, you get these crazy looking graphs. They look like galaxies. Real eigenvalues. Okay, here. Okay, so basically, the way that I learned, you convert this into a matrix form. I'm just doing this completely for fun right now. It's you should probably solve the way that it's being taught to you, but I haven't done this type of math in a long time. And it's something that I really liked, and I want to like learn it again. Okay, so oh shoot, the webcam's still up. Okay. You basically translate it into a system or into matrix form. P prime, Q prime, R prime as a vector is equal to, now the coefficients of P, Q, and R, 1, minus 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 2, 1, times P, Q, R. So it's that same system, just in matrix form. And then, oh, it's gonna be pink because it's 3 by 3. But remember, yeah, you get the eigenvalues. So you need to do the lambdas in the diagonal. And then I guess it's convenient to use this as our home column. I'm not used to doing it this way though. Plus, minus, plus, so plus, minus, plus. So it's going to be 1 minus lambda times the 2 by 2 matrix, that upper left corner, I think. I might be skipping a few too many steps here for my own good, but I think it's the most convenient way to get the determinant of this 3 by 3 matrix, because the other two rows zero out. So you get 1 minus lambda times 1 minus lambda times 1 minus lambda is 1 minus lambda cubed. Minus 1 times 1 becomes plus 1 minus lambda. And you said equal to 0. Okay. So lambda equals 1 is definitely a solution. I guess this is, you can do this by grouping. What did I try to write there? Oh, 1 minus lambda, I see. And then based off the solutions for lambda that you get, you can basically plug into certain forms for the solutions. Lambda squared minus 2 lambda. Oh, that's not even factorable, is it? 2 plus or minus root b squared minus 4ac. Oh, imaginary. Ugh. 2a. That's 1 plus or minus I. So we get 1 real solution for lambda and 2 imaginary. And then, how do you interpret that? You get cosine, that's where the cosine and sines come from, actually, so I should have expected an imaginary solution. Oh, do they not do higher? Ugh. Annoying. It should just be linear. I can work it out for myself, I think. So we would say that the solution is a linear combination. Where am I going to do this? One second. Oh, we need the eigenvectors too. Oh, that's right. That's where I was getting messed up. Okay, yeah, it's a little bit of a pain. Okay. Oh, that's such a pain. Okay, I don't want to go through with this math now. I forgot you have to get the eigenvectors. But basically, okay, let me just say what the answer would be, because it should work out to be what the thing is showing. Well, we get all 3 solutions. They only say to get the solution for R, or to prove the solution for R. It's going to be such a pain to get the eigenvalues with complex, like we have to do it first with 3 different eigenvalues, and then you have to also get like complex solutions. And I'm just, this is a profound problem. I don't want to do years of algebra. But if you do go through the trouble of getting the eigenvectors, you would say that the solution is oh wait, do you have to do it for one of the eigenvalues? Oh god. Oh no, you do need to do it for all of them, and then you split the solution up into the real part and the complex part. If you were to, oh god, yeah, I'm forgetting a few of these steps, but oh my god, you have to do like a. You get a solution in something like this form, but I think the e's will come into play because we get the one real root. Yeah, I'm doing a horrible job of explaining this, but this e to the t comes from the lambda equals 1 part. And then the sine and cosine come from the eigenvalue, eigenvector stuff that I'm getting lost in, or the imaginary roots. Hey, I was thinking of this for fun problem from from Thunder. In the way that the book does the solution is way different from how I learned to solve the system of equations, and so I was trying to remember the way that I learned. But it's kind of years of algebra, and I got too lazy to actually do it because it's just a for fun problem. But it's been solving system of differential equations, or it's not even solving; it's proving that this is the solution for R. And I don't really understand the way that the book did it. It's kind of weird to me, but when I'm in front, I'm going to ask you for real. I still don't get how they came up with this. It's so weird. I mean, they don't explain it. That's what I was trying to do, just to emulate the technique we saw for 2A. Like, I think I could explain everything else. It's just that first step that I don't get. I assume you have to do, like, P... Oh, wait, maybe I do get it. From the second equation, P is equal to dq minus, or dq dt minus q. Plug it in up here. Okay, maybe I do get it. Let's... Okay. It's differential equations. I can't help but be curious about it. P plus Q. Or P minus Q. This stuff can go away. I hate it. Well, I love it, but right now I hate it. Okay, so dp dt is P minus Q. Right? Right. dq dt is P plus Q. So we rearrange this to say that P equals dq dt minus Q. Plug it in up here. That P becomes d dt dq dt minus Q equals that P becomes that. And that minus Q stays. Okay. That becomes, my Q's look like 9s, but just know they're not, I guess. Squared, squared, when you distribute the d by dt in, because it's a linear operator. So we get minus dq dt minus dq dt is minus 2 dq dt plus 2q. Okay. And that, you get the characteristic polynomial, I guess. 2r plus 2. Hey, doesn't that look familiar? R is equal to 1 plus or minus I. And so the solutions for Q are going to be a constant times e to the 1 plus or minus I t. You use Euler's identity. You get e to the t from 1 times t times Sine t plus cosine t. And do you actually need two separate constants now? I feel like you shouldn't. Why do they do two separate constants? Ah, frick. Becomes A and B. It's the same thing, really. You say C. My C is their A over B, basically, or B over A, depending on how you want to factor stuff. Well, no, that doesn't make sense. Why is it like that, I wonder? It's because it's supposed to be I sine, I think. And since their coefficients are different in the first place, you need to do that, maybe. Let me... I'm not even... like, I probably shouldn't be spending this much time on this, but I'm just... I like this stuff too much. So you treat the plus and minus as two separate solutions. I guess that's why you get the two separate constants. Okay, that's fair enough. Hey, Nogger. How's it going? Okay, so that was really the part that I was struggling with when reading the solution, but now I'm going to say the first part. Brain is overclocked right now. You need that liquid cooling for your brain. Will variation always create a sinus curve? Any periodic function will, if that's what you mean by variation. That's like a Fourier thing, I think. Where any periodic function should be expressed as a combination of sine and cosine. I don't know if that's what your question is, though. Exactly. Variation generated from a source. Well, that depends on the source, I guess. If it's like an alternating current, then sure. But the word variation is kind of vague. Because variation is just change, so it could be like, exponentially increasing, which you can't, as far as I know, you can't express that with sines. Maybe you can. I'm talking about a Cine then. No, Buddha, that is not two-digit. Multiplying the matrices of ones, is there a trick for that? Are all the entries, is it a 4x4 matrix where all the entries are 4? Yeah, okay. I actually did it right. I'm taking those points. It's like a million digits. Well, probably, it's more like 32 digits, but thankfully it has a pattern. I'm just gonna call you Nog, I guess, because I don't want Twitch to misinterpret what I'm saying, because they can be obtuse about things if you don't really enunciate. But if you can be more specific, or maybe say it in a different way, I'd be happy to try and give you a better answer. But it's my understanding that it's a little vague right now. Oh, it's no worries at all. I'm just I've literally seen, it was like years ago, but I've seen a streamer like mumble something that sounded slightly bad, but Twitch took it in a bad way, even though it obviously wasn't a bad word. And so that's why I'm just like paranoid about it, and that person got banned. I don't think you're trying to stretch the rules or anything like that, though. I'm just trying to be careful about how Twitch thinks the worst of you, I guess, or the worst of people. But yeah, if you could describe it a bit more, so I'm having trouble understanding exactly where you're going with that. But okay. In the meantime, I think I should move on from this. Yeah, that was a hard one, Thunder. You couldn't tell. You need to learn it in a year? Yeah, good freaking luck. Yeah, I took your points, Boodib. I got the question right, and it didn't follow the rules. I'm taking those points. Refund? Hell no. I didn't get it right? You're telling me if you multiply two 4x4 matrices, all the entries are 1, that doesn't come out to be the 4x4 matrix with entries 4? Oh my god. Yeah, I got it right. I said the four. Oh, my very first answer is that it's all 1s. Or maybe I was trying to describe what the matrices were. I definitely was imagining this in my head, at least. I don't know. I may have, like, misspoken. No, that's not a refund. And I already took the points. These are both completely valid. But then, well... Yeah, it didn't follow the rules in the first place. That's reason enough for me to take those points, because would have just like said to stretch the the definitions that I provided. You're fine. Oh my god. I have to specify that it can include 2 numbers. I guess. I gotta specify what domain we're working in, I guess. Ugh. Um, it's only human natural. Okay. Okay, so this person has to derive this equation. Okay, this I can handle. I'm an Alan Neighborhood, so I'm wise and I have worms. You think all politics are California, then you're California dreaming. All beliefs are brown. Oh, how did the rope question go in Zach's chat, Bob? So far, they've gotten. Well, that chain rule part isn't quite right. Wait. Whoa, they're doing the product rule all wrong. He was astounded? Oh, good. I'm glad that you at least got someone to be impressed by it. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm gonna stay up all day. I'm gonna sleep up all night. Wait, at 8 a.m. today, someone poisoned the coffee. Do not drink the coffee. More instructions follow. Future why? So, like in this first part, I think they derived both parts of this and then did the chain rule separately over here. So let's that's you're right, Jeff, but its explanation is going to be long enough without that. I'm just going to use asterisks as my explanation. Hope that they get the hint, if I even need them. Product rule. We want y prime y prime equals. I mean, I'll do f of x g prime of x plus f prime of x g of x. We already know f of x in g of x, so let's find f prime of x. F of x equals, I said it was the first one, x squared, okay. I'm gonna give them the first one, ask them to do g of x. 3x, no, 3 parentheses, the original, squared, plus, no, times, I will do asterisks here, 2x. the same can be done with g of x, then you plug into the formula. This helps a lot with not getting chain rules mixed up. This helps many people, many students, with not getting chain rules mixed up with product rules. Okay. Oh shoot. You need to hit enter twice on Reddit. Wait. I don't. This isn't what they put here that I can, as far as I can tell. I'm not gonna give them the entire answer, but let's just. I need to like write out what the answer will be, so I can tell them how it probably should be simplified. (2x cubed minus 1). So how do you go about simplifying this? You could factor out nx squared plus 6 squared. Is EF 6 a.m.? That's what it is for you? Jeez. Okay, so I think I know enough to tell me what the first step is. And okay, let's give them that much. Actually, I think I want to go covered and do the real analysis questions now. I'm getting a little bit done with looking around on the internet. And actually, we got through nearly the entire sheet today, I think. We didn't do 6, although we kind of, it's related to the above ones. Like, it's the flip side of what we were doing before with the triangle inequality. Then 7. I'm not gonna worry about 7 yet. Let me actually wait. I should probably zoom in a hell of a lot. So I believe this is the reverse triangle inequality. But I want to come up with a more fundamental explanation for what's actually happening here. So I don't know if I want to do like cases quite yet. Like Bob gave a really nice explanation for like the regular triangle inequality that I want to see if I can emulate for this version. Okay, so stick a number line. We have A and we have B. Well, let's do, it doesn't actually matter. So A minus B is this distance between them. Let's put 0. Just pretend they're both positive for now. It doesn't actually matter. Well, it kind of does. Let's take them both as positive. I guess I am kind of doing the casework that you're saying, Pref. Then never mind. This is A, or you know, either way, it's A minus B or B minus A because it's all absolute values. It doesn't matter which one actually comes first. I guess maybe it does matter for that. See, I guess I'm splitting this up into cases. 0 less than A less than B. Let's just try it with this case first. The distance from A to B is greater than or equal to the distance from 0 to A minus the distance from 0 to B. So that, and actually in this case, they're going to be equal to each other. That's where the or equal to part comes from, because the gap that's missing here is the distance from 0 to A. So basically, like, these two segments add up to this big one. And that's why it's the reverse triangle inequality, because it's normally the other way around in the other one. Okay, so let's pretend there are, I mean, I guess we can do, if we're being really rigorous, I should, you know, look at 0 less than B less than A, but it's the same exact argument just with the letters flipped around, so I'm not too interested in it. Let's take A less than 0 less than B. Bit of a more interesting case. A, 0, B. So here, we still have the distance from A to B. And now we have, this must be greater than this distance here minus this distance here. Which makes sense visually because we basically are taking this distance here and it must be less than that up there. Now, I don't think there's a... So I guess there's technically 4 cases here, because each of these can be split up, or you can take the opposite with B's and A's, but I don't consider them particularly interesting, because it's going to be the same exact argument. I don't think there's a third, what I would call interesting case. Unless you want to say A equals B, but that's trivial. So yeah, actually, I remember like considering the outside absolute value. Should I be? I guess if the absolute value of A is farther away, it just kind of compensates to make it work. If absolute value of A is greater than absolute value of B. Like if you have this situation where A is a lot farther away, I think it's still the same exact argument, but let's still just examine it to make sure that we're on board with it. So here we're doing the big one minus the little one, and that's certainly less than the entire thing. Okay. So I think there should be a succinct way to say this in words. The distance from A to B is always bigger than the distance from A to 0 minus the distance from B to 0. I think there should be a better way. I mean, it's a little weird with the nested absolute values, but I feel like I understand what it's saying if I can't put it in like a one-sentence easy explanation. So yeah, Prav, I think that's the usual, or at least the more usual triangle inequality in the form that people usually give it in. A equals A, B equals A minus B. Oh, you start with that one. So yeah, this is the normal triangle inequality, and it's also true for x minus y. And then we just looked at the reverse triangle inequality right here. Hey Alex, 3 times 2 plus 12 times 3, it's impossible? I think so. I don't think math is advanced enough to be able to handle that problem. Okay, so let's I guess let's look at this limit one. Or I guess convergence rather. Okay. So we've got the sequence four n minus 5 over 30 plus 3n squared. Could you elaborate on the intricacies of the Lorentz transformation and its implications for time dilation and length contraction, while also exploring the conceptual challenges it poses in reconciling our classic intuitions with relativistic framework? Alex Lantz, the answer to that is no, I cannot do that. I have no idea what... I have no idea about any of that stuff. I don't know if that's a meme or not, but... that's not at all something that I can do. So, sorry about that. So I'm gonna do some scratch work here in red just to get an intuition for what the limit should be. Oh wait, we are given that approach is 0. I dropped that part off in my head. And that makes sense because the degree on bottom is greater than the degree on top, so we'd expect this function to go to 0. Just to know. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm sorry. That's way beyond me. So let's just use red. Why not? Hardly ever use red. So, oh my gosh. What we want to show is that for any epsilon greater than 0, there exists a natural number, capital N, such that for all small n greater than big N, we know that, I'm going to name the series A sub n. A sub n minus 0 is less than epsilon. I'm writing my epsilons differently. I wrote the belong symbol. I don't know if that's supposed to be an epsilon or if it's just its own thing. Like a different font of the epsilon, I don't know. It doesn't matter. So, oh, you know, the trick to this one is that maybe we can't solve it explicitly for epsilon, or for n, rather. So, our scratch work, because we need to be able to choose a good big N. Let's figure out what that should look like. I assume we're going to need something that maybe isn't possible. This is always positive for n greater than 2, so that's okay. We can drop the absolute value bars. So we're certainly not going to choose n equals 1. Okay. So let's see if we can solve this for n. I feel like, actually, ooh, no. Okay, so that's the trick with this problem. You're not gonna be able to solve this. You're not gonna be able to function like basically for n in terms of epsilon. So they were talking about having to prove the existence of capital N rather than trying to construct it. And maybe this is that type of problem. And I have no idea how you would go about doing that. So let me think about it for a little bit and see if I can puzzle it out. But I'll probably need to see what the solution technique is before I can apply it. Or I might be able to figure out on my own. So, okay. Let's look at what we have so far in the worksheet, because we do have some theorems that we might be able to work with. Like, maybe we need to show that it's bounded. Or that it's decreasing. So if we can show it's monotonically decreasing and that it's always positive, that seems like it would be a proof that it approaches zero to me. Well, we'd have to show that's not. We have to show that zero is like the maximal minimum bound. Which, is that the infimum? That's probably what the better term is. Like you have to prove that it's not, approaching positive 1 instead. Or something else. But I think showing it's monotonically decreasing is at least a good thing to focus on. And can we simply plug in n plus 1 and compare it with the version with n? That's my instinct for showing that a sequence is decreasing. Maybe we need to do, we have to do induction to show it more formally? Let's just try plugging in n plus 1 and seeing what happens. So I want to show that 4 of n plus 1 minus 5 over 30 plus 3n plus 1 squared is greater than or equal to 4n minus 5 over 30 plus 3n squared. So if I start with the right or the left-hand side and I try to do some manipulations, let's see what happens here, maybe? I don't know if it's a good, this might not be a good idea. So like, I would love to say something like the n plus 1 being squared is what makes the difference. Like that's kind of like the intuitive way for me to show this, but it's not really a proof. Would it be crazy if we tried to just cancel the n+1s? I feel like expanding things out is maybe the wrong idea. I think that's more clear to me how these two would compare. Well, is it? No. So maybe this is induction. Let's just try that. N equals 1. Minus 1 over 33. N equals 2. I don't know if minus 1 is a good base case. Maybe n equals 1 is better proved manually because you get the negative. Maybe it won't matter though. Because I'm not sure what the actual argument is going to look like. Uh, 3 over 52? That doesn't simplify. 3 is in 51. No, that's 42, which does simplify. Okay. Base case checks out. But now, like, do you assume a sub n plus 1 is greater than or equal to a sub n, and then show a sub n plus 2 is greater than or equal to a sub n plus 1? I think that's how you'd imply induction, but like that feels weird. Maybe let's try it though, because I think it's just what you would do. But we have to start from what we're assuming, and then get to what we want to show. So that's the plan. All right. Thank you for that, Stoopy. Well, how can we get to there? That's the question. Am I, wait, am I sure this is in, did I flip my signs? I want to show that's decreasing. The alligator is eating the wrong number. Either way, I'm still not sure that's a... Okay, let me actually graph this, just because I feel like I'm going to make another stupid mistake here. It's not going to be alternating. I think it's going to approach like only from one side. But let's make sure I'm not being completely stupid here. Only partially. (30 plus 3n). Ah, not nx. Okay, yeah, so it pops up and then it comes back down. It's not going like above and below 0. So the definitions of increasing and decreasing do apply. We want decreasing. X greater than y should be less than or equal to f of x, f of y. Okay. Why are we giving this in terms of functions and not sequences? Are we supposed to be thinking about this as a function, or is that maybe just... I'm not going to read too much into that. So it doesn't change the real task at hand here that I flip the sign. I mean, it does, but I still don't know what our first step should be. I gotta... Do we need to strategically add something to both sides here, maybe? Or multiply... Well, I guess we already have a sub n plus 1 here as part of our inequality, so maybe we just focus on the right-hand side. Well, I don't know. Maybe we add the next term to each side? We need to involve like the next term here somewhere. Oh shoot, I keep forgetting with the webcam. Oh yes, Suki. I completely missed that you wrote that in chat. Oops. Sequence of functions domain n. Definition we got in week 2. Oh, okay. I completely forgot about that then. So I'm trying to work out like how we actually get to what we want to show here. Or like, oh. That's from before I decided to use induction. Technically what we want to show is like for n plus 1 and n plus 2 rather than n and n plus 1. But we also do want to do that. Is there something we can add to each side? I think it's like the denominators are tripping me up. I also feel like it's like a substitution thing you need to do, but I don't think that's right. And I assume that, like, just trying to, like, solve it for n isn't the right idea either. Like, you could multiply each side by 30 plus 3n squared and 30 plus 3 times n plus 1 squared, but I feel like that's probably not going to help you. Hmm. I feel like I feel like I need to see an example of how you would make an argument here, because I don't really know how you prove sequences increasing or decreasing, evidently. I feel like there's a technique here that I'm missing. Or, yeah, sequence, not series. Oh, you divide them and show the ratio is less than 1. That'd be a lot smarter. Or subtract them. Okay. I was like, I don't feel like there's that many algebraic manipulations that we can do to the setup that I had. Okay, I like both of these way more. I wonder if there is something that you could do with the induction thing that I was trying, but... And I guess the answers I was looking at are kind of handling the induction part. Let's just make things a little bit simpler and just... do we want to divide them or subtract them, I guess? Either way, it looks like it's going to be a lot of work. Let's divide them. So if it's decreasing, we would expect a sub n over a sub n plus 1 to be less than 1. Or equal to 1? For the definition of decreasing that we have? No? No. Yes? No. A sub n plus 1 should be smaller. Well, actually, I could flip the fraction. That'll make more sense to me. A sub n plus 1 over a sub n should be less than 1. Because a sub n is bigger than a sub n plus 1. It's decreasing. Okay. After a certain point, at least. Sure, we'll have to make that stipulation, but it'll be fine. Okay. I'm just going to multiply by this reciprocal instantly. Well, I guess let's not do that step yet. Now, this is going to be a whole mess of algebra. I don't know if we can really avoid that. But, what's it called? Subtracting getting common denominator seems equally as difficult, so 120n plus 12n cubed minus 30 minus 3n squared. If there's an easier step, maybe not. Like, could I show it without having to do all this algebra? Not the way that I see, at least. Okay. Cubed plus 24n squared. It's 12n minus 15n squared minus 30n minus 15. Okay. Ugh. I feel like I shouldn't be doing this much algebra. But let's just see where it leads. It turns to be a waste of time than lesson learned. 120 plus 12 is 132. Minus 30 is 102. Minus 150 minus 15 is minus 165. 12n cubed is 12n cubed. 24n squared minus 15n squared. 9? 12n minus 30n minus 18n. And what the hell do you do with that? Oh wait, I did the n twice. I was wondering why there were too many terms. Pirate until death. Hate. A equals pi r squared for the area of a circle? Yes. That's the right formula. Hey, Zone Ranger. I'm working on Zach's real analysis. Thank God. I was working on... You forgot it? No worries. Happy to help. The problem in particular that I was trying to do is this. And so, number 7. So the way that we have been showing these by basically doing the sequence minus the limit is less than epsilon and like algebraically solving it doesn't seem to work here. And so I was going with a different strategy of proving that there is a big N such that like the big N exists, but not so what the big N is, or something to that effect. And so the strategy that I think you should, or I was trying to do, is showing that it's monotonically decreasing, which we provided a definition for at the top of the sheet, and that 0, I think, is the infimum. I think is the right term, like whatever the maximal minimum bound is. That second part, I don't really have an idea for yet, but I was trying to. I was working on showing that it's monotonically decreasing by dividing the n+1 in n terms and trying to show that's less than 1. The algebra isn't really working in my favor though, and so I feel like I'm missing something there. That stuff will happen when I'm like grade 8. No, what I'm doing right now is like college students specifically studying math stuff. Pirate, I wouldn't worry about it if you don't understand what's happening on the board. It's a kind of math called real analysis, or it's part of a class that's being taught on Twitch. And so I've been taking that class. It's by e to the 2i pi. There's another math streamer. And actually, if you ever have like math questions pop into your head in general, here's a whole list of math streamers. In case I'm ever not on and you have a question that needs an answer. And Prab is memeing. Actually, that might be also a correct answer. But oh, Prab is using an approximation for pi, or not an approximation, but like it's how you can calculate the digits of pi. So 0 is not the infimum. Okay, I need to remember what infimum and supremum even are. Just like oh, okay, so I was thinking infimum is the thing that I was thinking of, but 0 is not the infimum? Oh no, my phone died. That way just crossed my mind, but I forgot to do that. Oh, that's true, Zone. So I was assuming that we can take the sequence after n equals 1. I did notice that the first term is negative. But I thought you could just hand wave that away if you say that or I guess like I even like after this little like increasing part, like you can consider your big N would be only after this part. You could have some kind of hard cutoff. So Pirate, before you type anything, Twitch does have a minimum age of 13. And so I'm sure that if you're in grade 4, you just got held back a bunch of years and that you're definitely of age to be on this platform and you shouldn't say anything else because Twitch has a bot that'll automatically ban you if you were to, say, joke about being under 13 years old. And Discord is the same way. So I'm sure that you just gotten held back a bunch of years and you're of age to be on this platform. Okay, so yeah, so this is where my lack of knowledge of higher level math really comes into play. I just want to show that after the first term at least, 0 is your maximum minimum bound. Basically, that was my goal. I don't know how you say that in real math terms, but that was kind of like my strategy for trying to show this like convergence limit problem here. So I don't know if I'm doing it the right way at all, but I was thinking if I could try and figure it out without resorting to Google too much. But yeah, so if I'm using terms improperly, that's why. The big math server Prav? Yeah, sure. That's a big math help server right there. Oh, well, Discord has the exact same rule as Twitch, Prav. So that is a math help that Discord that I linked. If you have a question and like I'm not there or something, but you should be aware that Discord has the exact same rule about, you know, being of age. Were you given anything else that might help? Like, I noticed that from the bottom we could factor out a 3. And since we're trying to show that it approaches 0, oh, and then just work with 4n over 30 plus 3n squared and show that that goes to 0. And that would avoid the issue with the first term being negative. Okay. Oh, then that, okay, then that's just like a clearly decreasing series if you make that. Okay, that's a lot easier of a way than I was trying to do it. And Zach agrees. So will this cover every part of the question? Or actually, I guess, well, I guess from 4 over 3n, you could then do the same argument, and that would work. Or the same argument as we have been doing like the previous class. I guess I was getting too ahead of myself with stuff that I was trying to do. Now, that's fine, Zone Ranger. I was on the very wrong track, it sounds like, so. Brad, just let Pirate do whatever they want. You don't need to insist that they go on the Discord. Okay, yeah, so that... Well, sorry, Pirate. I'm looking at your thing now, and you don't need to worry about what Prav is saying. For a square, area is indeed length times width. Triangles 1/2 base times height. Yes. Triangles and parallelograms. They're a little bit different. I don't remember the formulas offhand, but it's something that Google will tell you too. So you take the two parallel sides, a plus b over 2 multiplied by h. Catch up, bruh. Yeah, I did see that. So yeah, Pirate, I'd recommend I think Google will give you a pretty good explanation of what these formulas are and what they do too. I'd be able to try and help explain them too, but there'd be a lot of explanations for this out there on the internet too. Further section 2, yes, please. Okay, so I think I understand that argument, which is it's just like in calculus when I learned the comparison test. You take an easier version of the series that you know is greater than it, and do proofs with that. Okay. Danny will do it for you, probably. Well, I certainly haven't done all the ones from the previous class. I don't know if I'm going to do math for a ton longer, but let's just see what these look like. So some of them are probably going to be a little bit... The Kappa one was really giving me... I still need to look at Zone Ranger's video on it. I wanted to keep on thinking about it. I don't know if I'm going to, though. I might just break down and look at the video. It is an interesting problem, but... The problem you see 1 over n. 1 over is what you look for. Yeah, that's a good thought, or that's a good way to think about it, Zone Ranger. I was trying not to use the the rules I was taught in like calculus or pre-calc, where the degree on bottom is greater than the degree on top. It's only a difference of 1. It's like 1 over n. I was trying not to assume that much, which is why I was going off in the weeds of doing random horrible looking things. But yeah, I somewhere thought occurred to me, but I guess not really. I should, if I thought of the calculus comparison test, that might have led me to do something like that, but I was not on that train of thought at all. Oh, I did look at these questions before, and I feel like there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to figure this out. Maybe for 11, I could maybe patchwork a bunch of different definitions, but for 10, I would think you assume that you try to do a proof by contradiction. It doesn't make any sense at all to me to have multiple limits exist, but we say that a 10 by contradiction makes sense. Okay. I guess you go to the definition of a limit. Let's see how it was phrased up here. Well, oh yeah, it's in prompt 1. The limit on our sequence I meant. The limit itself can be R, but it's of a sequence, I think. Again, it is possible to have limits that are many values in other topologies. I never know the first thing about that, but I assume it's something that I don't need to worry about for the sake of this class, at least. Enrolled that last semester. Oh, cool. In topology, okay. So, I assume we take that part of the definition, do an L1, L2 thing, and show that they're actually the same. Great idea. Okay. Oh, maybe there's some triangle inequality stuff that are going to be involved here. Let's see. I'm going to pull a Dan and bring up Paint. I could make my webcam big. Let's make the webcam big, actually. I don't want to draw with my mouse. You can go down there. Webcam, you've been promoted webcam to full screen. Wait, is this not 1080p right now? Why doesn't it match? Device default. Wait. I don't think I cropped the camera at all for this scene. Talk for paint. Oh yeah, no, I meant my webcam. It's not going in all the way into the corner. Did this thing even... Okay, let me see if I can just fix it in OBS. Configure video. There. Probably it's that. No? Oh, okay. Why is this thing so massive? Okay, there. Now it'll match. Okay, figured it out. Just working off only the webcam now. Okay, get this stupid attempt off my board. House of Benefit sequence? Oh, is there a joke there? Or like a little like a inside joke, I guess. So let's assume House of Ben n equals 1 to infinity approaches L1, and tau sub n equals 1 to infinity approaches L2, and I guess I should have wrote L1 comma L2. Why did I? Okay, let's just... L1 comma L2, and L1 is not equal to L2. So, absolute value of tau sub n minus L1 must be less than epsilon, which also, we also have this. Just like it wasn't A and B and, oh, okay. So I feel like I want to do the same thing that we're actually just doing today and add these two inequalities together. So let's just see what happens there. And then do some triangle inequality stuff. The 2 in front of the epsilon is irrelevant. I mean, actually, I do kind of like doing what Budib said and taking epsilon over 2 instead. Even though it doesn't matter. So then, triangle inequality here, I remember the actual form that we were using in class. Sorry, I'm just gonna not fix my Firefox for a second. Okay, let me copy this down quick, and then I'll fix the scene. Absolute value x minus y is less than or equal to x plus y, or x plus y is less than or equal to x plus y. That's what we were using in class. Okay. Okay, since I used Pac-Man of x as a function on the abstract algebra class. Ghost X to power pellet X's functions. Got full credit. Oh god. That's funny. Hey, with Mandarin, you'll good luck trying to run out of characters, right? It's literally like thousands of them. Okay, so I'm assuming, I guess we'd apply, I don't know if it matters. That scared me. Who was that? Liver Lobes, hey, thank you so much for gifting Zach. That like scared me. I was wondering what was happening to my headphones. Oh wait, okay, and you subbed for yourself too. I saw that was weird. I saw it in the activity where it popped up in chat. Well, thank you so much for that, Liver Lobes. I really appreciate it. I hope you're doing well today. Of lol. Glad to have you. I'm just doing some real analysis study right now from Zach's class. Oh, dude, yeah. Do you have to do some kind of proof with a poop emoji, right? That's the height of meme variables. Like some kind of proof that you really don't like. I don't know if we want x plus y or x minus y here. Let's just take x plus y and see what happens. Let me write it off to the side here. It's a bit more clear what the relationships are. Okay. And then that is 2 tau sub n minus L1 plus L2 is less than or equal, or not less than or equal, it's less than epsilon. And so from here, I feel like f of lol approaches PogChamp, or f maps lol to PogChamp. There we go. Liberals, may you offer a suggestion? I'm sure. I'm kind of doing this for like my own education, so try not to like completely spoil it if you already know the answer. I'm always happy to like discuss it if you're not sure of the answer, or like get hints without having it be given away. Unless I'm completely on the wrong track, in which case I want to be corrected, but oh yeah, I wanted from today's like this theorem point 2 seems relevant. Okay, I think we need to set up a separate inequality maybe to look at what 2 tau should be. Wait, that's not the right problem. It was over here on this other day. What makes the initial trick between the right form of epsilon? Really? The form of epsilon matters here? I thought it'd be kind of irrelevant. I'm just gonna keep on with this train of thought because I feel like there's one more thing that I want to try here. Which is if like looking at this sequence for 2-tau. Oh. Maybe you do want a 2 in front of the epsilon, so you could factor a 2 out and cancel them. Go see what's being said. That community names. That'd be funny. Like, have it for like different people in chat. Yeah. Since L1 does not equal L2, we say the distance between them. It's non-zero, I guess. What else are we assumed to be positive since we're measuring distance? Epsilon? If you know 1 and L2 is positive, since we're assuming they're not equal, maybe call the epsilon and run with it. Really? I mean, I guess. It's one of those things where I feel like it shouldn't be right, but with what you said, I guess it would be. Hey, Felix. It just feels like L1 minus L2 is a fixed number, whereas epsilon you would want to be able to plug any epsilon in. Maybe that's why it makes me uncomfortable, because it feels like a loss of generality. But you're saying that it's not a loss of generality. Yeah, Felix, that's what I'm attempting, and liver lobes is suggesting a different way from what I was attempting on the board here. I mean, I kind of feel like I just want to investigate this. The very I think it was towards the end of what I was trying to do with my technique here. I just want to see it through to the end, and if it doesn't work, then I'll pursue yours a bit more. But 2 tau sub n, in theory, it would approach 2L1 and 2L2. I just want to see how it looks if we set this up. Because it must be... I just want to see why this train of thought that I'm on doesn't work. Or maybe it does work and we're just both doing valid things, but I assume this won't work. Or I'm going to get stuck pretty shortly here. Or, I mean, we can do just epsilon. Doesn't matter. And could we say that for all 3 of these to be simultaneously be true, that L1 must equal L2? That's where I was going with this. In order for these 3 start statements to be true, L1, L2 must be the same. That's where I was going with my attempt here. No, it's all good, Liver. Just because I was already towards the end of my train of thought, I just wanted to complete it. What about epsilon equals L1 minus L2 over 3? No clue. I guess... So I assume if we're going to follow Liverlobe's train of thought, would I set up the same 2 equations, but instead of epsilon now, I would have, I guess, absolute value, L1 minus L2? Let epsilon equal that greater than 0? Okay. So thinking about the triangle inequality. Well, I guess we would say that L1 minus L2 L1 plus L2 but then how does the 0 come into play? Do we know? It must also be greater than 0? Oh, then you subtract over the L2? Or I think I'm doing something stupid. Like, are we saying this sort of thing is going on? That doesn't... Add a fancy 0? A useful form of 0. Plus something, minus something. I mean, plus tau minus tau? Um... Yeah, Felix, that's kind of what we have been building off of. So I guess if we're going to try and turn it into the limit stuff, we would take minus tau sub n minus L1 for that tau sub n in that L1, and that tau sub n in that minus L2. Greater than 0. And then with those two terms, we could do the triangle inequality here. So I guess we'd have this. Plus tau sub n minus L2. Paying people to play EverQuest with you? All right, whatever floats your boat. BC Aura. To less than blank plus blank. Oh, do you apply it a second time? Or is the second, like, do you apply it individually to these and these again? That doesn't feel right. Cheaper than buying another computer, fair enough. It's going good. I've just been doing some more of the real analysis stuff from Zach right now. Or they're both less than epsilon. Well, epsilon over 2, I guess. Oh, and, well, well, because they're added, it's just epsilon. So I need to like straighten out the inequalities now because I've been writing all over the board. What we've said is that L1 minus L2 is equal to epsilon is less than tau sub n minus L1 tau sub n minus L2. Is less than or equal to epsilon? To your house to have office hours? Yeah, exactly. What's wrong with this? I don't see the contradiction. Like, we already said it's equal to epsilon. Or... Oh, wait, no, it's strictly. No? It's not strictly. No, because we use a triangle inequality, so it's not strict. All right, see ya, Aura. So the triangle inequality isn't strict. That's what we were using. Oh, wait, no. This inequality is strict. I see. That one, I think it should stay. Or like... But I think that's already a contradiction, right? Because epsilon can't simultaneously be less than or equal to a value and strictly greater than. Use tau sub n minus L sub I less than epsilon. You could have used your suggestion. Oh, of doing the over 3? That's where you transition. C of epsilon over 2, okay. Well, I agree that that one is strict inequality because of that transition with epsilon. But this first inequality is not strict, I think, because that one just... It's just from the triangle inequality. It's still a contradiction, but I don't see how we would get rid of that first or equal to. Because to me, liver lobes, what you said is... Yeah, no, so it's still contradiction. I was just confused on why we would get that first one. Or why would we get rid of the first one. So should it be epsilon is less than or equal to that stuff is less than epsilon, or should it be both of them are strict? Or is one or equal to and the other one strict? Either way, it's a contradiction, I think. But I'm just curious if I'm missing a line of reasoning. Okay, so no, I understand that there's the contradiction there. I thought you guys were saying that they should both be strictly, or like both things. It does end up with epsilon less than epsilon, which can't be true. But I thought you guys were saying that the or equal to should have been strict. I had in my last line there, and it shouldn't be. It's not like you guys agree. I was just interpreting you guys wrong. Hater was here. See you later. Diving into your first proof. You still hate proofs.